Title: I was always bloated until I stopped eating like I was in a hurry. My name's Daniel, and for years I was always in a rush. I live in the heart of Manchester, where everything moves fast: buses, meetings, lunch breaks, even conversations. My workday felt like one long to-do list, and eating was just another box to tick. I never sat down for meals. Breakfast? Usually a banana while checking emails. Lunch? A quick sandwich during Zoom calls. Dinner? Often something microwaved, eaten while standing or scrolling through news. I didn't even taste half of what I ate. I was too busy thinking about what was next. And slowly, my body started talking back. Every evening I felt heavy, like I was carrying a rock in my stomach. I was bloated, tired, and sluggish even after meals that weren't that big. My brain felt foggy too, like I couldn't concentrate on anything for long. It was hard to focus during meetings. I blamed stress, lack of sleep, the weather, anything but how I was eating. I tried quick fixes. I drank more water. I added probiotics. I chewed antacids like sweets. Nothing changed. I'd wake up in the morning already uncomfortable, already feeling off. But I told myself this was just part of adult life. Everyone feels this way, right? You work hard, you're always tired, and food doesn't sit the same as it used to. Normal. That's what I believed until one small moment made me question it. One afternoon, I was eating lunch during a team video call. I barely noticed what I was eating. Later, I couldn't remember the taste at all, but I remembered the bloating, the way I had to loosen my belt, the way I snapped at my teammate without meaning to, the way I needed a nap but had 4 more hours of work ahead. It hit me then. This wasn't just about food. This was about how I treated myself. I never slowed down. Not to think, not to rest, and definitely not to eat. I treated my meals like they were speed bumps, something to pass over quickly on the way to the next thing. I looked at my plate, then at my reflection in the screen. I looked fine. My life looked full. But inside, I felt overstuffed and still empty. I was always full but never satisfied. One day at work, I was running late, like usual. I grabbed a sandwich and ate it in 3 minutes, flat, no chewing, no tasting, just shoveling it down. By the time I finished, my head felt dizzy and my stomach was so full it hurt. I tried to ignore it and went back to my desk, but the discomfort stayed with me all afternoon. Later that evening, my phone buzzed. It was a message from a friend inviting me out for drinks. Again. I looked at the message and sighed. I wanted to say yes, but I didn't have the energy. I was tired, bloated, and honestly embarrassed. So I typed back, "Can't tonight." Feeling off. I closed my phone and sat on the couch. I needed answers. I opened my laptop and typed into Google, "Why am I always bloated after eating?" The results were endless, some complicated, some simple. Then I found a forum where people shared their stories. One comment caught my eye. It said, "You're not broken, you're just rushing your body." Those words hit me like a punch. I realized I wasn't broken. I was ignoring what my body needed. I was forcing food down like a machine and expecting it to work perfectly. The next day, I decided to try something different. At lunch, I sat down properly. No phone, no emails, just me and my food. I took a deep breath and looked at my sandwich. Instead of biting right away, I held it, smelled it, and told myself to slow down. The first bite was strangely slow, almost awkward, but I kept going. I chewed each mouthful slowly, noticing the flavors and textures. I realized I'd been missing out on so much because I was always in a hurry. I didn't finish my whole sandwich fast like before. I took my time, and when I was full, I stopped. Afterwards, I felt lighter. The heaviness didn't come back. My head was clear. It was a small change, but it felt huge. That night, I felt calmer. For the first time in a long time, I looked forward to meals instead of dreading them. I knew this wasn't a quick fix. It was a new way of living, but it was mine. I was ready to slow down for my body, my mind, and my health. And that was just the beginning. After that first day of mindful eating, I decided to keep trying. It wasn't easy. At work, I stopped eating in front of my laptop or phone. Instead, I found a quiet spot, away from screens and noise. At home, I turned off the TV during meals. I made a simple rule for myself: no rushing. I put my fork down between bites. I chewed slowly, counting at least 20 chews per bite. I breathed deeply and tried to enjoy each mouthful. At first it felt strange, sometimes awkward. I was so used to eating fast that slowing down felt almost like a punishment. But after a few days, I started to notice changes. First, I realized I felt full much sooner than before. I didn't need to finish the whole plate just to feel satisfied. My body was telling me it had enough, and I finally listened. Second, I stopped feeling the heavy, tired slump after lunch. No more post-lunch naps or that sluggish feeling that made the afternoon drag. Third, my clothes started to fit better. Not because I was dieting or exercising more, but because my body wasn't holding on to all that discomfort and bloating. I began keeping a simple journal. I wrote down what I ate and how I ate it. I noted when I felt bloated or light, tired or energetic. This helped me understand my body better. Sometimes, I noticed that eating too fast or skipping meals made the bloating worse. Other times, slow, calm meals felt like a reset button. Slowly but surely, the constant bloating started to fade. My stomach wasn't a heavy weight anymore. It was a quiet part of me again. More than that, I felt calmer. Eating became a time to pause, breathe, and connect with myself. It wasn't just about filling my stomach, it was about caring for my whole body. This wasn't a quick fix or a fad diet. It was a simple habit that took practice and patience. Some days were harder. Old habits tried to sneak back when I was busy or stressed. But I reminded myself, progress, not perfection. Looking back, I never thought changing how I ate would change so much. It wasn't just my digestion that improved. It was my energy, my mood, even my confidence. I realized that food isn't just fuel, it's part of how I care for myself. And that made all the difference. After a few weeks of eating slowly, my friends started to notice changes. "Daniel, you look more awake," one said. "You're less cranky lately," another joked. It felt good to hear that. But the best part? I felt it too. I started treating my lunch like a small ceremony. No rushing, no screens. Just me, my food, and some soft music playing in the background. I took a moment before eating to say thank you for the food, the day, the chance to slow down. It felt strange at first, but calming. I began to enjoy food in a way I hadn't before. I noticed flavors, textures, and smells I'd missed when I was scarfing meals down. And the bloating? It got better, way better. My stomach stopped feeling heavy and tight. My energy lifted, my mood brightened. I realized something important. Fixing my gut wasn't about buying the latest supplement or chasing quick fixes. It was about respect for my body, my time, and myself. Slowing down to eat wasn't just a habit. It was a small act of self-care that made a big difference. This simple change helped me feel whole again. And that's a feeling worth every slow bite. Looking back, I can hardly believe how much changed just by slowing down. I'm Daniel, a busy guy living in a fast city. I used to rush through meals, trying to eat while doing 5 other things. I thought that was normal. I thought being busy meant discomfort was part of the deal. But now, things are different. I don't eat perfectly. I still grab a quick snack sometimes or eat on the go. I'm not a health guru or a mindfulness master. What I've learned is way simpler. I eat with intention. I pay attention to my food. I chew slowly. I notice when I'm full, not stuffed, just satisfied. I don't let work, screens, or stress steal my meals anymore. I make time to eat, and I make that time mine. The bloating? Gone. The mental fog? Clearer than ever. The shame I felt about my body? Fading day by day. I feel lighter not just in my stomach, but in my mind. It's like my body is thanking me for the quiet moments I give it during meals. And here's the thing, it didn't take expensive pills or a perfect diet. It took patience and the courage to slow down in a world that rewards speed. I still have busy days. I still get tempted to eat fast. But now, I remind myself, let me chew my food and live my life slower. That simple sentence became my anchor. I'm not just eating to fill my stomach anymore. I'm eating to fuel my life. If you're listening to this and feeling stuck in the fast lane, know this: you don't have to be perfect. You just have to start somewhere. Slow down, breathe, chew. Notice your body and mind will thank you. And maybe, just maybe, you'll find that slowing down is the best way to speed up feeling better. Because health isn't about rushing to a finish line, it's about enjoying the journey, one bite at a time. Taking care of your health doesn't mean being perfect or following every rule. Sometimes, the biggest changes come from small, simple steps like slowing down and really paying attention to your body. When we rush through meals or life, we miss out on how food nourishes us and how our bodies tell us what they need. Mindful eating isn't just about food, it's about respect for ourselves and our time. By choosing to eat intentionally, We give our bodies a chance to digest well, our minds a chance to relax, and our spirits a chance to feel calm. Health is a journey, not a sprint. It's okay to have busy days, to make mistakes, and to start over. What matters most is that you keep trying, keep listening, and keep slowing down when you can. Your body and mind will thank you for it. Follow for more. If you enjoyed Daniel's story and want more simple, real-life tips on living healthier and happier, follow us. We share inspiring stories, easy health hacks, and motivation to help you take care of yourself one small step at a time. Subscribe for more. Ready to make lasting changes? Subscribe now for weekly stories, expert advice, and practical tools that support your health journey. Because taking care of yourself should never feel rushed or complicated, it should feel like coming home.